Hey guys, sorry for taking a little hiatus for a while. It's mostly because AP Test is being a little bitch, so I had to find time to balance everything. But in the meantime, I was on Netflix and I found this little kind of, I was gonna say indie, but no, I found this from a South Korean film called The Wailing.
이렇게 소문이 바다한 말이요? 무슨 이유가 있는 거요? 이유가...
요새 자꾸 동네에서 사람 죽어나가는 거 그놈이랑 뭔 연관이 있는 거요?
Yeah, that's all you get for now. The film I just previewed to you, like I said, is The Wailing, a South Korean horror film by Na Hong-jin. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. If I am, I'm very fucking sorry. I'm horrible with names, especially Korean names. Jesus Christ. But yeah, this is a 2016 movie. This is directed by the same director as The Chaser and the Yellow Sea. Guess he's kind of fond of simple names starting with the word duh, but oh well. I have quite a lot of praise for this director, and specifically The Yellow Sea, which I adored when I first saw it. But let's visit his new film. The Wailing is a thriller, like I said, and it deals specifically with murders. All I can say about the plot is that, yeah, like I said, it was murders, but murders are happening out of nowhere in this small little town, and we need to find out what the fuck is happening. Yes, this does sound like a shit ton of fucking horror films from America, specifically America. I'm not against American horror films, but I have to say, recently they've been shit. I'll get more into that later. But yeah, my review will just be my overall view of the film without any spoilers, just in case anyone would like to use this review as kind of a preference either to watch the film or just to completely ignore it. It's your choice. So, here we go. Starting off with this film, like, it's shot, it's gorgeous and colorful, but by the end of it, it becomes very saturated. Is that the word? I really don't know exactly the right word for it. When you watch the film, if you guys have a better word for it, please say it in the comments if you want to. From knowing the story and how the story progresses, the color actually goes along with it. If you watch it just from the colors, you can kind of tell when is the starting point and when is the ending point. When everything is fine, everything goes hell to shit. It's not abnormal for a director to change the colors of the film to progress with the overall atmosphere and the plot of the film. But I do praise this director specifically for not using to force our audience into thinking, hey, yeah, it's sad now. Yeah, get sad. It's supposed to be a sad moment. You should be fucking sad too. It's like, no, we're not children. If a moment's gonna be sad, everything else in the film should be sad with it. Like the writing, the shots, the acting, just fucking everything. It's simple, it's that simple. Some of the shots actually surprised me with his own setup. One example is this establishing shot where you see a moped driving in this little village and you see it, but then you hear it stop and crash. You wonder why, and the next shot actually relates to it when you see a woman hanging. And you see the man in a moped who fell down and you see him run away. The reason I praise this specific shot, even though it might be a little pretentious, is because the establishing shot isn't used for its simple effect, just say, oh yeah, here's a setting right now, here's a new setting in this new shot, in this new scene. I said, no, that's not just it. We're saying, like, here's a establishing shot, but also the little event you're about to see is in the foreground. You can see it, you just have to spot it out, and that's what I liked. To some people that might be a little pretentious and kind of stretching to give it a little praise, but it was impressive to me. I'm sorry. Also, another thing this film does differently to other horror films that really catch me off guard was the audio. It didn't use that much of music for horror, for kind of jump scares. Fucking hate that. A lot of horror films nowadays, American, Japanese, just overall horror films, they use loud sounds to cause a jump scare in the film, and because they love fucking ruining and not even attempt at suspense, tension, or fucking build. This film actually uses sound effects such as a low groaning noise to create tension, or even to use a silence. Make us look at the main character for guidance of what's about to happen in the film. About the characters, the actors for them are actually better than I expected. Specifically the main character and his daughter. Her acting was just superb, just on the same level as the main character. One thing I did notice about the acting is that when some characters are crying, well, this is not going to be a flaw, this is going to be kind of a praise. Primarily in American films, I see actors crying in unrealistic ways when the character is supposed to be in a horrible situation where it's kind of a low groaning crying. It's not very high-pitched like people usually do. In a more realistic way, people cry, especially at a high-pitched tone when they feel vulnerable, when they just feel completely weak. The crying from some actors here feel really genuine because it feels like it's coming from a real person, not just a fictional character in a movie. The only flaw I kind of have is with the dialogue. The writing is great and the dialogue is too, but the thing is, there are some times when they add in little tidbits of dialogue just at the end of a scene which kind of feel unneeded. It's only happened about like a few times, I would say about 3. let me rephrase it. It's not a flaw, it's more of a nitpick. It won't annoy everyone, but it did annoy me just a little bit when I rewatched it. One thing I have to say about this film before I wrap this review up is that to understand the full plot, you have to see little details and see the reincorporation of some objects that are noticeable, but it's not how you would expect it. You have to just piece everything together, the small details, the reincorporation, and just, well, everything to understand the full plot. There is symbolism, importantly biblical symbolism. You don't have to know a lot, just kind of the basic details or some quotes. This film as a whole will play on the audience and even the characters' assumptions. You'll feel several fucking feelings in this film, which I actually experienced, like frustration, relief, and confusion. And it's incredibly worth watching a second time if you want to piece together all the plot and the little details. This film quickly became one of my favorite films of 2016, and I can't wait to watch more of this director's work. So I'll give this film a 9 out of 10. Also, I have a new suggestion for the short reviews. If any of these movies I reviewed in the series you would like to see in a more in-depth review on, say it in the comments. They may be done in a fashion like my Cars reviews, or kind of a more in-depth about the story, like I probably will about the Wailing, kind of explaining everything. But I don't know, we'll see. So that's all I have to say, so see you guys!